have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then. Don't pull it
I'm
out.
happy to pull it out.
Don't pull it out.
You just killed my boy.
Today we'll talk about a case that became emblematic in debates over policing and violence in America. The Philando Castile case, in which a black man was shot and killed by police in his car in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. This is not just a sensational video. It's a lesson in human psychology. How fear, stress, and bias can lead to pulling the trigger, and how the law evaluates that action. At the exact moment Philando Castile did everything right,
Well, sir. Good. How are you? Good. Reason I pulled you over, your brake lights are out. So you only have one active brake light, and that's going to be your passenger side one. Your third brake light, which is up here on top, and then this one back here, is going to be out. You have your license and insurance?
I have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then. Don't pull it
I'm
out.
happy to pull it out.
Don't pull it out.
You just killed my boy.
he was already dead. Not minutes later, not after a struggle, but within seconds. A routine traffic stop, a calm voice, a legal firearm, and then 6 seconds, 7 shots. So here is the question that still divides America. How does following the law turn into a death sentence?
He's licensed to carry. He was trying to get out his ID and his wallet out his pocket, and he let the officer know that he had a firearm and he was reaching for his wallet.
My son would never jeopardize anyone else's life by trying to pull a gun on an officer and the gun was not fire ready. These are some of the facts that came out in the trial, and I am so very, 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 very disappointed in the system here in the state of Minnesota, because nowhere in the world do you die from being honest and telling the truth. The system continues to fail black people, and they will continue to fail you all. Like I said, because this happened with Philando, when they get done with us, they coming from you, for you, for you, and all your interracial children. Y'all are next.
This is not a viral clip breakdown. This is not outrage. This is a system-level analysis. Because the Philando Castile case is not just about one officer or one victim. It is about something deeper. How human psychology, legal standards, and institutional systems collide in the worst possible moment. In this video, we will break it down in 4 layers. First, what actually happened inside those final seconds. Second, how both minds, officer and civilian, were operating under extreme stress. Third, why the legal system could not produce a conviction. And finally, what changed and what didn't. Statement of probable cause. The complaint states that the Iblium facts establish probable cause. Your complainant is Doug Henlung, Special Agent, Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. He states that the following is true, correct, and establishes probable cause. 0 July 2nd, 2016, a Super USA convenience store in Lauderdale, Minnesota, was robbed by 2 black males. Video surveillance of that robbery slioed 2 black male suspects, both with Clariasalocks, glasses, baseball hats, and fur cans. St. Anthony Police of H. Sir Geronimo Yanni was one of the responding officers to IE robbery. On July 6, 2016, just NFTCR 9 p.m., Yannick was on patrol when he nocio ECL a vehicle being driven by Philando Deval Castile, a 32-year-old black male with DR Cadlocks who wore glasses, and was driving eastbound ZO11 Lempi Antiquer Avenue in Lonuderdalk near the scene of the unsolved Super USA robbery. Accompanying Castile the vehicle way his Giffnan Diamond Reynolds seated in the front passenger seat, and Arsenal Kipi's 4-year-old daughter, DFR, seated in a child seat in the aisle side rear passenger seat. Yanez communicated his intent to pull over Say SLHC's vehicle by radio to St. Anthony police officer Joseph I. Causer, who was on patrol nearby. Yanez told Kausker that he had reason to pull the vehicle over and that the occupants just took like the people that were involved in a robbery. Yimiez Ferldier stated that, at 9:02:05 p.m., Yanez queried Castle's iSense plate number. The query results showed that THN vehicle was registered to Castile. It was not Lyled BK stolen, and there were no whitehans for his arrest. Yimez did not notify dispatchers that he was conducting the stop, or that Lai suspected that a robbery suspect was in the vehicle. At 9:04:48 p.m., Yanez activated his squad lights, signaling Castile to pull over. Castile complied by and McClumptley pulling over on the eastbound side of Larpenolker Avenue, near Fry Street in Falcon Heights, Ramsey County, Minnesota. Approximately 1 minute later Yanks. July 6, 2016. Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Evening. Quiet road. Officer Geronimo Yanez pulls over a vehicle. The reason is simple. A broken tail light. Nothing unusual. Inside the car, Philando Castile, 32 years old, a school cafeteria supervisor, known by students for remembering their names. In the passenger seat, his girlfriend, Diamond Reynolds, and in the back, her 4-year-old daughter. This is not chaos. This is not danger. This is normal life. Until one sentence changes everything. Castile says, "Sir, I have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me. Legally. Licensed. Declared. Exactly as the system expects. And that is where the system begins to break. From the moment Castile says the word gun, a clock starts. Not a visible one, but a neurological one. Inside Officer Yanez's brain, something shifts. This is called threat priming. The brain does not wait for confirmation. It prepares for survival. Heart rate spikes. Vision narrows. Sound distorts. Time compresses. This is not theory. This is documented in police training and combat psychology. And now, everything becomes filtered through one question. Is this man about to kill me? Meanwhile, Castile is operating under a completely different objective. Compliance. He is trying to cooperate. He is trying to reassure. He is trying to follow instructions. But here is the problem. The instructions are no longer simple. Don't reach. Show me your ID. These are not compatible actions. This creates a cognitive trap. To comply with one command, you must violate another. And under stress, the human brain cannot resolve contradictions efficiently. So Castile moves, slowly, carefully, and that movement becomes the trigger. Yanez shouts, "Don't pull it out!" And then, gunfire, 7 shots, 6 seconds, no confirmed weapon drawn, no clear attack, just perception. and reaction. This is where the case becomes uncomfortable, because both individuals may have been acting logically within their own realities. For Castile, he followed the law. He disclosed the weapon. He attempted compliance. For Yanez, he perceived a lethal threat. He believed a gun was being drawn. He acted to survive. So here is the paradox. The same moment contains both compliance and perceived aggression. This is not just misunderstanding. This is dual reality under stress. And once stress crosses a threshold, human perception is no longer objective. It becomes predictive. The brain stops asking, "What is happening?" and starts asking, "What is about to happen?" And then it reacts before certainty exists. After the shooting, the case enters a different system, the legal system, and this system operates on a completely different logic. The question is no longer, what actually happened? The question becomes, what can be proven beyond reasonable doubt? Officer Yanez is charged with second-degree manslaughter. But here is the critical detail. To convict, the prosecution must prove that his fear was unreasonable, not mistaken, not tragic, unreasonable. And that is an extremely high bar, because U.S. law, based on Supreme Court precedent, evaluates police use of force from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene. Not with hindsight, not with full information, but inside uncertainty. So the jury is asked to do something very difficult. Step inside the officer's mind at the exact moment of fear and decide, was that fear justified? In the end, they could not say it wasn't. And that is why he was acquitted. This reveals another paradox. The same uncertainty that causes the shooting also prevents conviction. Because if the situation is ambiguous enough to create fear, it is also ambiguous enough to protect that fear legally. In other words, the system cannot punish what it cannot clearly define. And in this case, the moment was never clear. The consequences ripple outward. The city reaches a civil settlement, nearly $3 million. The officer is dismissed. Federal authorities review the case. Police training begins to change. New emphasis: de-escalation, time, distance, slow the situation down, create space, reduce pressure, because pressure is what collapses decision-making. But here is the final problem. Training can change systems, but it cannot remove biology. Stress will still exist, fear will still exist, and decisions will still happen in seconds. So here is the final paradox of the Philando Castile case. We design systems to reduce human error, but those systems must still operate through human minds, under stress, in uncertainty, in seconds. And sometimes, that is not enough. If you reduce this case to a single moment, it looks simple. A man reaches, an officer fires. But if you expand it, it becomes something else entirely. A chain of perception, a chain of fear, a chain of assumptions, all compressed into 6 seconds. And once those 6 seconds begin, there is no reset, no pause, no correction, only outcome. So the real question is not who was right or who was wrong. The real question is, what system, what training, what language can prevent the next 6 seconds from ending the same way?
Don't pull it out! Don't move! Fuck! 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 Don't move! Don't move!
The following is a summary of the events immediately preceding the shooting, based on squad car audio and VKTO recordings. Please stop. 9:05 Vorsaars p.m. Castile's vehicle came to a complete stop next to the curb. 9:05:15 p.m. 9:05:22 p.m. Jans approached the driver's side of Stilk's vehicle. As he walked toward LHC vehicle, Yannick's had his wriggle hand on Lee, right side of his duty belt near his gun. Castile's WBVS, bucket in his sexet belt. 9:05:22 p.m. 9:05:38 p.m. Jans leaned down with his head near Lou, and in irony of the driver's side window, exchanged greetings with Castile and informed Castile of the brake light problem. 9:05:33 p.m. Coward, a pro-clicked on the sidewalk on the passenger side of Castile vehicle and stopped nem the rear seat pay. Sfixinger door. 9:05:38 p.m. Yannick asked for Castile's driver's lictus and proof of insurance. 9:05:48 p.m. Castile provided Janez Viatli his proof OI insurance card. 9:05:49 p.m. 9:05:52 p.m. Janez Puckreck to look at Castile's insurance information and then tucked the card in his outer pocket. 9:05:52 p.m. Cree Shaw, 9:05:55 p.m. Castile calmly informed Yannick, "Sir, I am to tell you that I do have a firearm on me." Before Castile completed the sentence, Jans interrupted and calmly replied, "Okay," and placed his right hand on the Holstkar Oi, his own Islesleard gun, J. Chronomo Intix page. 4 of 10 co. A. He complaint no. 620373879 9:05:55 p.m. 9:06:02 p.m. Jan Iaor said, "Okay, don't reach Jabrit then." Castile responded, I in. Inaudible reaching. Before being again ML corrupt CD by Jans, who said, "Don't pull it out." Castile responded, "I'm not Po, hong it out." And Reynolds also said, "He's not pulling it out." Yanez screamed, "Don't pull it, owl," and quickly pulled loose own gun with his right hand, while Lai reached inside the driver's side window with his left hand. Jans removed his left arm from the car, then fired 7 shots in the direction OI Castile in rapid succession. The 7th EHOT WTS fired at 9:06:02 p.m. During the incident, Hausor did not touch or remove his gun. 9:06:03 p.m. 9:06:04 p.m. Reynolds yelled, "You just kill my boyfriend." 9:06:04 p.m. 9:06:05 p.m. Castillo moaned and said, "Wasn't reaching for it." 9:06:05 p.m. 9:06:09 p.m. Reynolds loudly said, "He wasn't reaching for it." Before she completed her sentence, Jans Felgen screamed, "Don't pull it out." Reynolds responded, "He wasn't." Yane yelled, "Don't move. Fuck." Audio and video was also live-streamed by Reynolds on Facebook, immediately after the shooting, and while Yanez had his gun drawn and pointed toward the mortally wounded Castile. In the audio recorded by this UV stream starting at 9:06:42 p.m., Reynolds slated that Castile was trying to get out his ID in his wallet out his pocket, and he let the Otticer know that he had a firm, and he was reaching for Leo wallet, and the OI Ticey just shot him in his arm. The following interchange between YFTN CX and Reynolds was also recorded. Reynolds, "Stay with me. We got pulled over for a busted tail light in the back. And the police just, he's covered. They just killed my boyfriend Yanks." Fuck. Reynolds, "Lies TL Senskel. He's carried. He is licensed. Low carry." Jans, "Nem just keep your hands where they are, Reynolds." "I will, sir. No worries, I will." Jans, "Fuck." Reynolds, "HC just shot his arm off. We got pulled over." Jans, "Fuck." Reynolds, "On LARP Centur." Jans, They perform CPR on Castile until paramedics and Elvkullen took over. When OFHCCRs and Patty medics roll CCT Castile to his right side so Lealfie backboard could be put under him, they saw and removed a .40 caliber Yemi-automatic handgun from inside my large right front pocket of Castile's shorts, measuring approximately 12 deep x 6 wide. The gun contained a loaded magazine but did not have a round in the chamber. Castile was transported to Henkpin County Medical Center, HCMC. In the 1 ICMC emergency department, medical personnel recover a holster and wallet from one of Castle's pockets, although it was unclear which pocket these items were in at the time of the shooting. In Castile's wallet way, his Minnesota driver's license and his permit to carry a pistol. Within minutes after I Schulinked Yanks, spoke with St. Anthony Police Officer Trikvisa Sunda at the scene of the shoaling. During that conversation, which was captured on Janss's squad microphone and recorded at 9:13 p.m., Janio said, Castile was sitting in the car, seatbelt CSI. I told him, can I see you've license? And then he told me he had a Hrian. I told him not to reach for it, and sigh. When he went down to grab, I told him not to reach for it, clears Thront. And then Lai kept it right there, and I told him to take his hands off it. And then he, sigh, he had his.
I told him
his
not to
grip
reach for
a
it,
tot wider than a
and then
wall.
he kept it right there, and I told him to take his hands off of it. And then he had his grip a lot wider than a wallet.
Okay.
And I don't know where the gun was. He didn't tell me where the fucking gun was.
Okay.
And then it was just getting hanky. He was just staring straight ahead, and then I was getting fucking nervous. And then I told him, I told him to get his fucking hand off his gun.
Okay. Okay. Is everybody
Fuck!
Is everybody in custody? Do we have everybody? Were there two
there
people
was
in the
just
car?
3 people in the
Three
car.
people in
It
the
was
car.
a female front seat passenger, the little girl in the back,
Breathe. Breathe in.
and the dude.
From having been through this before, listen to me real quick, but
Okay.
so I know you want to talk about it, but there's things we need to know.
Yep.
If there's any other suspects, you said no.
Yep.
What direction did you fire your weapon?
Yep.
I had it down his hip. I had it pointed
This way
down,
now?
Into the
diagonal,
Okay. Nope. So we're just bringing it on
into the
down.
car.
Yep.
They're all around there in the
Okay.
car.
Good.
Okay.
Good work. And then there's no other outstanding suspects, and nobody else is injured that you know of.
Nobody else is injured that I know of.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get you out of here, buddy.
Yep.